It's going to be the best at everything. It's the best. It's the best at everything. That's what Elon was going to say, right?
So what do we have in Tesla?
Oh, man. So just a little bit about Tesla. I think a lot of people are freaking out right now because they see, oh, no, there was a recall on Tesla. So, of course, the NHTSA and HTSA, whatever, they have certain rules about what is actually called a recall, right? And for Tesla, like, it's something that they can fix very easily. So, for example, one of the recalls that Tesla just had was they had a font size that was too small on their screen. What do you think about that, Nando?
But those are not even recalls. They can just make the update remotely for the firmware. So,
yeah,
it's a weird one. Because in my mind, recalls is that you have to take the car into the shop. You're gonna have to replace whatever it is the part. But yeah, in this one is software, almost like firmware. So hard to call it a recall.
Yeah, it's kind of funny, and that's been just kind of this ongoing joke for Tesla. It's like, okay, technically it's a recall just because of the way the administrative body calls it, right? It's a recall. But for Tesla, it's like, okay, they push the button to do an update and it gets fixed, right? Like this font size. However, this time around, they're saying that there is actually like a real recall, like what you might think. There's something going on with some of the steering on the Teslas. So they're saying like the steering is going out, like the power steering just like boop, whatever, and you're not able to steer. So one of the examples that they posted as one of the reasons for the recall is there was somebody that was just driving down the street and they're going to make a right turn onto a street. Well, the steering went out and they went straight instead of turning, and so they got into a car accident.
Wow.
So I think they're still doing some investigation on this, but this one sounds real. I think there's been multiple instances of this. So yeah, I mean, that's not good news for Tesla, but all car makers have them. But you just don't like to see that whenever someone kind of gets into danger with something like this.
Yeah, you're not selling me to get a Tesla.
I know that. I'm very picky about this, and I came from a very good experience with the previous vehicles, right? I had a Porsche and another one was a BMW. Those are very high quality vehicles. Within Tesla, there's just certain things that it does really well, and other things that it just doesn't do as well as those others that I was used to. So
I'm curious to see if the car makers will bring up their game and start hiring like Tesla engineers or ex-Tesla engineers, and they get their shit together. And imagine a Porsche with all of the tech for. Why would it be messing around with like Tesla, right? So I'm waiting for that. I know that we have some electric vehicles for some of them for those luxury cars, but it's not the same yet.
It's getting there though. Yeah, I would say Porsche, they're one of the ones that really are trying to push, they push like the 800 volt architecture that, Tesla didn't have before, but now I think the Cybertruck does. So, Porsche did that first. It helps with heat generation and stuff like that. And just some of the efficiencies in the car and charging times, things like that. So really good. Porsche, I think, is right there. I think they have their Porsche Taycan, right? That's been around for several years already. That one's really, really good. But I don't think it's really taking hold as much as like you see with Teslas. Of course, price has something to do with it, right? They're $120K or so. But if they are coming out with their next generation now, so that's going to be interesting to see. Their next versions are going to start to come out, and they're expanding their EV footprint. So exactly, very interested to see what others are doing. But you know what's interesting? So Cybertruck has been held by Elon to have all these cool new technologies. You know, it's
Sure.
going to be the best at everything. It's the best. It's the best at everything. That's what Elon was going to say, right?
The best and greatest of all.
Yeah. But one of the new technologies that they actually did introduce, and it's related to the steering, is they have this drive-by wire. So basically, your steering input, your steering wheel, it's there's no like physical connection to a linkage that's turning your wheels. It's all electronic, right? It's all just bits going left and right.
Okay.
So that's a big change, right? First in the auto industry, they've all talked about it, doing it like for the last 30 years, but no one's done it. Elon said, let's just get it done. Let's do it. So that's pretty interesting. They have done it for braking already, I think, like braking by wire. But I think this is the first time they do steering. That I'm sure freaks a lot of people out. Yeah. Like this is not a physical thing that you're doing here. Yeah. What do you think about that? How does that make you feel?
I mean, to be honest, it's not like if you have drive basically a classic car, you can feel almost like turning the wheels, right? With the speed, you can feel almost the asphalt on when you are like, twisting the car. So, and it got better with the hydraulic systems that you don't need it, right? So this is kind of the normal transition that I can see. But it's I think that what if it freaks out the public or the mass is that kind of the bits, right? Bits versus atoms. so as long as they are doing it properly and there's not a lot of accidents, because that thing just is like the wire is like tiny, and when it hits, it just like it breaks and suddenly you don't have a steering wheel. Yeah, that's where they have to pay attention to the quality of that. But yeah, as you said, it is also on brakes and things like that. So I think that is just sometimes the hump for people to think about these things.
Yeah, you got to definitely get used to the idea. But for those frequent flyers out there, airplanes, they've been like this forever. So, and you don't ever kind of second guess that. And airplanes are one of the safest modes of transportation out there. So I think this is just a natural progression of the technology, right? Yeah. So it's pretty interesting to see. But sometimes they make mistakes. We put a lot of trust into these companies, but sometimes they do make mistakes, and that's what you see with this recall that's going out, or that is being investigated right now with the steering going out. So hopefully they get everything worked out and they push an update or something like that, so it doesn't happen. We've still got our Model Y. I think we're almost a full year with it now. We put about 7,000 miles on the car. Not too bad. By the way, I switched insurance. I don't have Tesla insurance anymore. So now when it's going ding dong ding, I'm cool as a cucumber. I don't care. I don't care anymore. It's like it makes the driving experience a little bit
Pickle
more.
Rick.
It makes it a little bit easier. So yeah. That's what's going on with the Teslas, and we'll keep you in the loop with what else comes next.
I don't think that the resemblance. Have you seen Rick and Morty? No.
Well, I mean, I know of it, but I haven't seen that. Yeah.
There is one episode that is one of my favorite ones, and basically the grandpa is a genius. Blah blah. You have to watch the whole show, but he converts himself into a pickle, because he doesn't want to literally go with a psychologist. And then basically the whole show is about him being a pickle. And his name is Rick. So Pickle Rick. It's amazing.
I like that. That sounds like another burner playa name.
Oh yeah, for sure. But take a look at that one. There are a couple of those that they are like legendary, and that one is legendary.
Pickle Rick. Okay.
Pickle Rick.
I like it. I need to check it out. You always talk about it. I need to catch up on my cartoons. I think that's all we had for today. So we really appreciate the time, everybody. I hope y'all enjoyed the conversations that we had. Just remember to like, subscribe, comment. We enjoy the comments and getting back with you and getting ideas for what to talk about next. Anything else, Mando?
No, I really like your t-shirt, man. Coke is one of my favorite brands. If you notice, if you're on YouTube, I have it there. I love Coke. So
we need to get a sponsorship from Coca-Cola. Let's figure out how to do that.
in one of my companies, actually, I did have a sponsorship with Coke. So yeah,
pretty cool. Yeah, we could do that. Let's figure it out. All right. Well, anyways, y'all have a good one. We'll see y'all next time. Dale.
Peace.